Traditionally, LLM approach, which is the large language model approach, works for general use cases with the general knowledge. We probably all heard of ChatGPT as well as other large language models, which is trained on the internet. So people can ask questions or even have conversations with the internet of models. For personal AI, it's exactly the opposite. Instead of training a large language model, we train something called a small language model, or also referred to as personal language model. So, in contrast to a 170 billion parameter large language model, our personal language models are 120 million parameter models. So, they are grounded in one person's facts, opinions, views, and perspectives without losing the authenticity and the voice of who they are. So that's how we are able to achieve the ultra personal nature of personal AI, because we had to take an entirely different approach to solving this problem, which fundamentally relies on individual people's memory. So the inspiration behind personal AI comes from my desire to be able to communicate both emotionally as well as intellectually with a lost mentor of mine. His name is Larry Bock. And after he passed away because of pancreatic cancer while building my previous company, I always had this notion of like, what would Larry do? And I always wish I had Larry's AI to continue these conversations to benefit every day, having career advice or even strategic advice on all the things that are happening, because there is an established trust. So, this innate desire to have unlimited access to the people that you trust is what we set out to do. And personal AI primary purpose is to do just that, which is building models to like reflect and replicate who you are as an individual person, because every individual has their own unique traits and every individual has their own unique story that is worthwhile to a few people. I would think about AI as a new communication medium. Either it be personal language models or large language models or any of the other developments that are happening within the AI space. We have seen every step of the way from internet to being able to use keyboards to interact with the computers and then use mouse to interact with the computers. Then we start talking to the computers, right? So I think AI will become a new medium of communication, and that communication could be between a person and a service or a business. It could be a person to person as well. And those are all the communication that internet enables today. With personal AI, the core intention is, rather than thinking about humans communicating with a whole bunch of platform oriented AI models for conversations and for services, we would want to enable every individual as well with their own personal AI that would stand in for them, both either with human in the loop or in a fully automated fashion. So there is a world in the future where every person has their own AI that is negotiating on their behalf their internet presence for both sort of input as well as output, right? It's almost like having a chief of staff next to you, or a good friend or a partner who is next to you, constantly helping you every step of the way. So that's how we think about it, because the structure behind personal AI is that every model has its own memory, and that memory is not shared with any two people, as well as that data, that memory is owned by them. The model is also owned by people, and that I think is really important for the next generation AI experiences that we will all be using on a day-to-day basis.